Well, the winner of the 2025 Distinguished Leadership Award goes to Mr. Will Price from the United Way of the Venango and Titusville regions. Good morning, Will. Good to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What an honor. Talk about that, because this was through the state, right?
Yeah, it's through the United Way of Pennsylvania. It was... there were 4 candidates across the state that was nominated by the peers of our peers of directors across United Way, and then they revealed the results last week at the state conference.
Well, congrats. That's
Thank
so
you.
awesome. So what goes into that? Obviously, it's been a big year for the United Way.
It has been. It's just shows that, I guess, it's based on leadership, and, put a lot of time. I put a lot of time in the state association, serving on their board of directors, really, spreading the mission of United Way in the network, not just here locally, but across the state, really taking a part in every community that we can, just to help grow new CEOs and I don't want to say mentor, but be that sounding board for them when they come in.
But is it an opportunity, too, to see kind of what's going on out there and bringing that knowledge here locally?
Absolutely. There are some long-term United Way directors out there, and, we borrow a lot from our bigger United Ways, our sister United Ways, the Alleghenies, the Capital Region, the Phillies, and the state, and take a piece of what they're doing and bring back to our region and mold it for us. And I know they have taken what we're doing here. That's the great thing about being in a network.
That's got to be kind of cool to see somebody taking something from what you've done here and applying it somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Do you still, are there moments where you're like, Philadelphia or these larger areas, you go, boy, they have some of the same challenges we do?
Absolutely. The challenges across the board are, that transportation, healthcare, homelessness, food insecurities are the top needs across the state for most communities, but it varies in each community. So, our homeless issues here in the region are definitely different than Pittsburgh. And we look at them differently, but the needs are there. It's unique, and it's challenging and fun to figure out how to, accomplish those needs.
Yeah, that's got to be something that excites you, though, where every day's different. I'm sure stressful at times, but just taking on those challenges.
Yeah. Every day is different. The conversations are different with everyone. Every agency has their own needs, and just, being in the center of it all, trying to coordinate it is fun, exciting. Like you said, every day is a new day, and, it's what we can get into.
Well, let's get into what's coming up. Again, there's campaign season, but there's also the rest of the year where people can get involved and help out the United Way or volunteer or be engaged, at least.
Yes, we have our we're doing 2 volunteer fairs this year. Our one for the Titusville community is tomorrow at 1:00 at Parkside. We'll have over, I believe, 15 agencies looking for volunteers, so we encourage anyone that's wanting to learn about volunteer opportunities.
Can you just kind of elaborate on that? Because I'm sure somebody hears that and goes, well, don't you just show up? I mean, there's more to it than
Absolutely. We want each volunteer experience to be the best. So please come out, meet the agencies, make sure that's what you're truly wanting to do. It's kind of like a matchmaking. You want to make sure it's the best experience for you and for the agency. So if you have an interest, there's probably a need out there in the community, but, our agencies are small and they're busy, so it's a little tougher just to show up and knock on the door and say, I'm here to volunteer. Give them a heads up of you want to volunteer, and they'll set that time up to meet with you and do that first connection. But it's a great opportunity tomorrow in the Titusville community, and then on May 22nd, I believe, is the one in Venango. It's going to be at Dement's Library in Franklin at 1 o'clock. We have over 20 vendors there, 20 tables, agencies set up to learn to promote their volunteer opportunities. United Way always promotes volunteer opportunities. We have a link on our website that you can see what needs are out there, the current needs. There's always packing food and doing some admin in the office. I know the Humane Societies are always looking for dog walkers and that it's just not just human services that we're focusing on the volunteers. It's the whole community as a whole. So
see, I just learned that.
Yep.
So
yep.
Always something to learn.
Absolutely. United Way has volunteer opportunities at the David's Garden now. Here in Titusville, we have a cleanup day happening this evening at 6 o'clock. We're going to clean the garden up in preparation of a wonderful summer events. Today is restocking the beds, picking the weeds, cleaning up the garbage, and then at the end of the month, I believe it's on the 27th, we're going to have a planting day that we're going to plant the beds and spruce it up. So the garden will be open for everyone, but we're looking for volunteers to water and weed and keep the garden looking fresh all summer long.
That's wonderful. And again, maybe you're somebody who's like, I'd love to learn a little bit about gardening. I'm not really quite sure. Maybe this would be a fit where you can be with somebody that knows and
Absolutely.
maybe you learn from them.
Yep, we have our long-standing volunteers that are very knowledgeable. I live on a farm, but I don't know how to garden. It's different. It's different.
Okay.
My role is if I don't eat it, I don't plant it, I don't pick it. But
I live on the 26th floor of a skyscraper, and I'm afraid of heights. That's kind of what I'm hearing here.
Yeah,
Will.
pretty much the same thing. But no, we're going to do summer programming all along. We're bringing some workshops in to learn about how to cook some vegetables and how to pick them when they're ripe. And
Nice.
Throughout the summer, we're going to have a summer event the beginning of August with our partnership with Too Small to Fail at the Garden and some child literacy programming that's happening there too. So, volunteers are always welcome.
I know you have a golf outing, but I want to kind of, while we're talking about kids and other things, summer career camps?
Summer career camps you can register now. It's free for anyone in the Titusville region, including Venango. We're doing 3 weeks this year. We're doing public safety, STEM, and AV technology and publication, really. Totally free for any family, middle school age, going into 5th grade, I believe, up to 9th grade. Really showing or showcasing the careers that we have here locally. And it's not just the ones that you think firsthand in public safety. It's, the EMTs, more than the fire departments and the police departments. It's the whole court systems. It's the court reporters. It's even working inside the jails and the food service and the probation. STEM is covering a wide variety because we do have a workforce here and we want to showcase it to our kids. And I've said from day one, I believe this is our 3rd year, is let's promote what we have here because you can make a living here. And it's not just the one career that we're always hearing. Example, the welders in manufacturing, and there's a whole ecosystem around careers that make manufacturing work, and we're trying to showcase that each week. They're doing tours throughout the region. Every day they're out at local businesses looking at those careers. Speakers are coming in. I know for the 1 week we have a fashion designer from New York City zooming in to meet with us and meet with the kids. So I'm happy to say I believe we have 17 kids signed up, and we opened it on May 1st.
Wow.
So it's growing every year, is totally new. And
And no cost to those summer career
Yep, no
camps.
cost to any of the children's or families.
That's great. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Will Price with us here this morning from the United Way of the Venango and Titusville region, and talking all these great events coming up. It's funny because you talk about the ecosystem part of it. When somebody hears, there's career opportunities in the tool and die industry, right? You go, well, I don't want to necessarily work at a machine, and I don't know if I want to do that. Well, okay, but there's IT and there's
Shipping
marketing
department.
and biz. Yeah, there's so many other parts to it where I've talked to people who said, I never thought I'd be in this industry, but within this industry, I'm doing what I love, and it's this.
Yeah.
And I never put those two together till later, but. Just exposing, and probably not just students. I'm sure as parents are seeing what their kids are interested in, they're learning about this stuff too.
Exactly. We're exploring these local places, and they can't get a job now, but it's keeping it in the back of their mind. And when it comes down to, deciding what they're doing post high school, they'll remember if they're looking at a job posting of, I walked through that place. It was a pretty cool place. I remember doing a tour through high school of one of the local manufacturing places, and it was like a treating. I remembered it. I still remember to this day of just seeing the machines, and, it's, now would I ever work there? Probably not. But it's something that I'll remember, and it could push a student that way.
Yeah.
So,
well, with our previous guests, when you pair it up maybe with something else, maybe some business classes, maybe in the back of somebody's mind, they're like, you know what, maybe I'll start my shop in my garage and start a business. Or maybe it's one of those things where I'm doing it outside of work and I'm slowly going to grow something. I mean, that's the entrepreneurship side that is always fascinating and makes for great stories.
Exactly. It's how to lead it up to it. We're learning career paths and everything. So,
grant applications. This is the month
for
just grant applications are now open.
Yes, our community grants are now open May 1st through the 30th in both communities, Titusville and Venango. We're looking at the financial stability this grant cycle, so any programs into that grant or in financial stability can apply. It's a 3-year grant. We have great volunteers on both sides that review those grants, and that's the true work that United Way is doing and providing some funding in the most needed areas under financial stability.
There's the all the work that goes into maybe an organization looking for that grant, but it's really a good thing because it makes them really evaluate the programs they're fighting for, right?
Yes. Yep. It's a very robust process. The agencies do submit the grant. We do hold our programs and agencies to a higher standard because they are in our community. We're taking that working dollar. Our volunteers spent countless hours reviewing the applications. They do an interview with every program that applies, and then the volunteers decide. It's not myself or the United Way team. It's the volunteers that truly decide where they want to invest the United Way dollars with the greatest impact. And it's a twofold. Yes, we hold our agencies to a higher standard because it helps them write other grants and bring other opportunities in. And, we're definitely an outcome organization. We want to see outcomes with our programs. And I give the volunteers credit on reviewing those applications because sometimes it's a tough decision of who they're investing in and how they're investing.
We were kind of talking at the start, there's never a bad time to invest in the United Way, but you do have an event coming up and maybe a couple spots available.
We do. We still have a couple spots. I believe we have 3 spots since we made that advertising.
You posted this yesterday morning, about this time yesterday morning, and now you're down to 3 spots.
We're down to 3 spots.
Wow.
It is held at Venango Golf Course. It's a great event. It's next Thursday. There's still whole sponsor opportunities. We can still get major sponsors in if they would like to be a major sponsor. They get a team. It's a great way to give back and be outside and enjoy hopefully some nice weather.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just count on it.
Yeah.
Again, but this is a great fundraiser for the United Way. It's a chance to have some fun, but you're also helping out just with all this great stuff that you guys are doing. Do you get people who ask, like, hey, how can I learn more? Do they go to a website? Can they go to the Facebook page?
Yep, they can go to the website. They can go to Facebook. They can even call the office, and I would love a conversation with them. Over the phone, we can sit down and talk one-on-one about United Way in general, what programming, how to get involved. There's so many opportunities for anyone.
That's wonderful. Helps create a healthier, I was going to say Northwest Pennsylvania for us, but, Crawford, Venango counties, again, just talk about how important it is to maintain that health. And we're not talking personally, but collectively.
Absolutely. We're powerful in Venango and Crawford. We have a great network, and it's not just about United Way, it's about the communities that we serve. I encourage anyone to get out there and get involved in any agency that has your interest. If it's not United Way, there's tons out there that can use the expertise and the experience to help grow. Because if our agencies are thriving, our community is thriving, and we don't want anyone to be not thriving. We want them to live their best life.
Yeah, and then that does eke into the personal health side of things,
Absolutely.
Right? So,
yep.
You want to tell us about Majestic Dolphins?
Well, yes, I guess. No, it's I was part of a team that it's Healthy Minds.
Yeah.
It goes back to staying healthy. It was part of the gym over in Meadville, the Bill Lawrence Gym. It was a team effort. Our team that I was part of was in the top 5. So
congrats.
It's making sure that you have time for yourself. That work-life balance is definitely a must-needed thing, and I have come to realize that you need to take at least an hour a day for yourself.
We should expand on that sometime. Maybe next time you're here, because that is important, and you can get a lot out of that. Well, if folks have questions, they want more information, they want to register a team, how do they get a hold of you?
Yep, you can just call us at the office, either 814-827-1322 or 814-676-6545, or you can go right to their website and all the information's there. You can register right online too. So,
all right.
Awesome.
Will Price joining us this morning. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats on everything.
Well, thank you.
A lot of great things coming up.
Yes.
Busy. It's good. Here's the other thing. It's going to be a busy summer for you.
It's going to be. It's going to fly by.
Every month's a busy month.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Will.
Thanks.